We're kind of back. Woo, for a little bit.
Yep.
For this. Then we're gone again for a couple weeks.
Our first official collaborated reviews.
Woo!
Calibrated. There we go. I can't even say our
It's
name
also
right.
collaborated
Yep.
because we're collaborating.
True.
Collaborative,
Calibrated.
collaborative, calibrated.
Calibrated.
Whatever.
We saw Star Wars.
Yes, we did.
Hence my troll shirt.
His troll shirt and my not troll shirt. Pancakes.
Episode 1.
The best of all of them. You can't beat that one.
Nope. No, you can't.
Except with this one. Because it was good.
By like 10 times more good than...
Well, it was an infinitely improved Star Wars experience to the prequels.
Yep.
Absolutely. But why don't you tell us what this one... What are your thoughts? What did you like?
Well, first of all, I'll start with my negative.
Okay.
My only major negative is that in typical Star Wars fashion, everything is about convenience.
Well, yeah,
But-
it's a very convenient story.
But what makes everything good is that even though it's all based on convenience, they make it work.
Yeah.
So it balances out that one negative by making it flow nicely and
It
really
was
good movie.
it was very convenient. I will give you
Yeah.
that. A lot of what happened is like, okay, I'll go with you just because you're doing it interestingly, and this is very interesting.
it felt like I was watching a space opera version of D&D.
Kind
Like
of,
how
yeah.
you normally get characters together to work along. Hey, these people need help, and you should do it. You're
And-
getting paid.
Hey, you're a stormtrooper. You don't like being a stormtrooper. There's a pilot there that can get you off the planet. Go save him.
Yep.
And then this lady can help. Has the droid, and is also like,
Droid you need,
yeah,
and then convenience.
yeah.
Into more convenience and more convenience. What made that awesome is it was your typical 3 acts, but it had little mini like subplots going on throughout to kind of keep the adventure going. And what helped with that is it allowed you to develop the characters. Because in each little adventure, you got to know the characters more and see different sides of them, and it actually helped make you more into the movie, even though it was a really weird way to do it. Because you don't see that anymore since, like, I think like old 80s action or adventure films used to do that and
Well,
stuff like that more.
Most movies nowadays are about explosions
Yeah.
and set pieces
Yeah.
and look at this cool thing, and this movie was about, hey, look at that cool thing, also these awesome people are in that cool thing.
Yep.
Isn't it great? And yes, it was.
It was.
Yes, characters I actually give a fuck about, thank you Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
However, I enjoyed the movie immensely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see it again probably.
Yep.
But it's also kind of weird, because it's also, in 30 years, the rebellion has done nothing. I guess.
They got rid of the empire that was there, and then the bigger portion of the empire was like, we're back now, bitches.
Or something, I don't know. They do not explain anything.
No, they don't.
That's my biggest negative about this movie. They don't tell you what's going on or what happened in between the new movies, and I can guarantee you it's so they can sell you the in-between later on in different movies or TV shows.
Because I know the comics have been covering that, and stuff like that has been covering that type of stuff. So that's what makes it kind of like...
I don't want to read these comics.
Because there was a novel, I think, too, that was supposed to be the lead up to the movie.
I don't want to read it. I should not have to devour everything.
For the finite information. Because
Yeah.
they do give you enough where you don't even need to see the
Kind
old
of,
movies
like-
to like the movie.
Well, no, not to
Yeah.
like the movie,
Or to enjoy it, yeah.
but to get
To understand
the
it even.
full enjoyment of it, you do.
I guess, yeah.
Because otherwise, you don't give a fuck about Han Solo.
Or Leia. Or
Leia.
Like that, 'cause you don't have the connection to them
You don't
yet.
care about
Yeah.
them. They're just old people.
You just know that they
They're just-
mattered
yeah, they're-
originally.
You'd assume that they're everybody's grandparents.
Yeah.
They're the happy grandparents who kind of don't like each other, but kind of do. They're those parents,
Yeah.
grandparents.
I think one of the biggest complaints I've been seeing around the internet lately is that it's just basically them rehashing episode 4.
But it's not.
No.
It's similar, but
It's very similar, but
it's not.
And
It's
I
a
feel
soft reboot, is
yeah.
what it is. It's very much the same, but you kind of have to do that to get the feel. But then hopefully they're gonna go
diverge from that
Yeah,
with
take
what
it a
they need to
different
do.
direction.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened in this movie up until about the middle? Because we're not giving spoilers away yet.
True. Well, basically, the premise of the story, or the summary that you're giving at the very start, so that way you know where you're going with the movie, is Luke Skywalker is missing
Yep.
for whatever reason.
Well, no, they do give
They
you the
explain
reason
it
in the
later
movie,
in the movie,
yeah.
but that's kind of spoiler territory, so I don't want to.
Yeah,
get into that
I
yet.
guess the worst kept secret in
Yeah.
the universe.
Yeah. So he's missing right now, and so they're trying to find him, and apparently he left behind an astral map.
They don't actually explain how they get the map. They never say he leaves it there.
Well,
There's just a map.
well, yeah.
They don't say it. There's just a map for some reason.
There's spoiler territory for it because he. Ah, shit. That's a really weird one to dance around. Because they do explain.
Well, then just leave it.
They do explain.
later.
Yeah, they do explain where the map comes from, but they don't make it clear until a certain point in the movie, and that's like the end of the movie.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
But basically, it's a portion of that map is what everybody's after,
Yes.
and it's given to BB-8 after Poe Dameron finds it because he was on a mission to find it.
Yep. And BB-8 is Poe's droid. It's
Astromech
his
droid.
R2D2.
Yeah, it's his astromech. And so basically when he gets it, that big village gets attacked, chaos ensues, he gets captured, all this craziness happens, and then you start the adventure because he gives it to BB-8 to run with it,
Yep.
which starts introducing you to all the characters, and then it basically becomes them trying to get that map to the rebellion, or the resistance,
Yeah.
as they're now called.
Yeah. Yeah, the resistance. But it's not really clear what they're resisting
Yeah,
in the movie. I mean, yeah, the First Order's the obvious bad guys,
the shadow that's coming.
but they seem very much like the underdog threat because there is the Republic, whatever that is.
Yeah.
They don't go into that either. At least in the movie that you pay to see.
Yeah.
There might be something else you have to pay for.
Yeah, there's like
to
a
know
New
that,
Republic
but-
or something, and the Resistance is supposedly trying to protect the New Republic from the oncoming threat of
Of the First
Snoke.
Order or something.
the First
Yeah.
Order when
Of the giant midget man.
Yep.
I hope he's a midget. Oh, I hope so much that he's a midget. But anyway, then yeah. Poe Dameron gets captured by Kylo Ren after he stopping a blaster bolt in midair. So cool. Anyway, he captures Poe Dameron. BB-8 gets away and finds what's her nuts? Rey.
By convenience.
By convenience, yes. Some mechanical cow man is trying to capture her, and
she saves him.
she
from
gives
being
him a
used for
tongue
parts.
lashing, and he runs away.
Yeah.
Or awkwardly waddles away, I guess,
Yeah.
is a more accurate description. And then, for some reason, she likes the robot. I mean, how could you not? He's cute as
Yeah.
fuck. But, and doesn't sell the robot, even though she could like live like a queen for quite some time
Yep,
from
after
selling the
selling it.
robot. But she's like, no, fuck it. I want this robot. And they walk away.
Yep. And then the other main characters, Finn and Poe,
Yep.
sort of crash land looking for the robot.
Well, first we should explain who Finn is.
Yeah.
Finn is a stormtrooper who may or may not be a clone. They're not.
They danced around it.
Yeah, they're not 100% clear on whether he is or isn't.
Well, actually, they they were kind of
they tell you that he's been training since he was like 1.
yeah. It's like he's
and that he was taken
it's like he's
away.
not a clone. He's like a child
kid.
that they take and then
Yeah,
they
it sounds like they make them into Unsullied, is what it
yeah
sounds
something like
yeah.
that.
Except they're really bad at it, apparently. For one, they still can't hit shit,
Nope.
but they're a lot better.
They're
I think
better.
that little piece right there helps their aim quite a bit. But so he decides he doesn't want to be Stormtrooper anymore after killing. Well, he didn't kill them, but after the attack on this village where Poe Dameron gets kidnapped. So he finds Poe and helps him escape.
Because he needs a pilot to escape.
Yep. And then they take a TIE fighter.
Yep. In a really cool sequence.
Yep. And then the TIE fighter gets shot and crash lands on the planet.
Jakku.
Yep. And discount Tatooine. And eventually Poe and what's his nuts get separated.
Yep.
And I guess I don't need to go into that much detail.
No, from there.
But anyway, Finn meets Rey and Robot. They escape in ship.
Yep. And the rest of the movie happens.
Yep.
And adventures!
Adventures! You meet some old friends, you make some new friends,
Yep.
and hopefully it doesn't continue like this for the other 2 movies. 'Cause
Yeah.
yes, this one was good,
It was good.
but I
it's
don't want...
good as a launching point.
Yeah, I don't want The Empire Strikes Back again.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find themselves on an ice planet for some reason fighting CGI robots. Because they won't make... Well, because J.J. Abrams isn't going to be directing the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll probably go a lot more CGI.
Perhaps.
Hopefully not. But I liked a lot of the practical effects. They looked
Yeah.
really good.
They do.
And the robot looks so much better because it was a practical effect.
Yep.
BB-8 was really there, and everybody really interacted with him. And that helped immensely.
That it did.
Although he had gadgets that didn't make sense. But then again, by the end, R2-D2 could do everything short of, blow up a star.
Yep.
He was a walking Swiss Army knife.
Yep. But yeah, so I think, without giving away spoilers now, still, some stuff. I think Rey is probably one of the better handled main protagonists that they've had in the series because they make you really get to know her.
Yeah.
They introduce, through all these adventures, you get introduced to like her personality, what she's good at, all that stuff, and then it pays off later because without them having to explain anything, that information allows you to then kind of logically progress of how she figures out how to do some stuff later in the movie.
Yeah.
Which is one thing I really liked about that.
Most of the new characters were done really well.
Mm-hmm.
There's one obvious exception. Captain doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah. Captain Fast Shit.
Captain sell the toys, damn it.
Yep.
She doesn't do anything in the movie. And why do you need...
She's just a fancy general that you notice.
She's just a shiny suit.
Yep.
And she talks occasionally and yells at the guy once.
And then she...
And then gets thrown in a trash compactor.
Yep.
Why was she a toy other than she was shiny?
Mm-hmm.
For these dumb kids buying shiny toys. And the toys weren't even shiny. They were just gray. Some might have been shiny.
Maybe.
The big one was
I don't
just
know.
gray.
I didn't see any of the toys.
It's dumb. But yes, Captain Phasma was a waste of money for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You could have gotten a nobody to do it.
No.
Instead, they got a kind of somebody.
But then on the flip side, Lupita Nyong'o and her character was very well utilized for being CG.
Definitely, yeah. She was one of the more memorable throwaway characters.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll make a return, but
Yeah. They left a lot of... That's the other thing with the movie. They leave a lot of things unresolved. They don't show you the aftermath of who's still alive, who's not at any point in the movie.
Captain Phasma might have a huge part in the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say she dies.
Yep.
You don't see them throw her in the trash compactor.
You just hear an offhanded reference, and
Yeah.
then you don't see her again.
Does this station have trash compactors? Yeah.
As a joke. Yeah.
And then she's just
Gone.
gone.
Because they move on from that point.
Yeah. And that's one of the strengths of the movies. Of the movie,
Yep.
I should say. That they leave it very open to do lots of things in the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But it still feels like a full story.
Yeah.
Although, I can't say that yet.
But yeah, I really liked Rey as the protagonist, and then this guy over here really liked Kylo Ren.
I loved Kylo Ren. Oh, he was a good Sith. Not because he had a fancy lightsaber that could do all this crazy
Or even
shit.
because he was that skilled either.
No, he wasn't all that skilled, and that's why I liked him. He's very much what you would consider a new Sith.
Yeah.
He's very angry.
Mm-hmm.
He's somewhat competent, but he's full of fear.
Yeah, he's nothing but bravado kind of too.
Yeah, like the mask is just for show,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes his voice sound
Intimidating.
But he takes off the mask, he's just a fucking brat.
Yeah.
He's just a whiny little bitch, but not in the bad way,
No.
not in the Anakin Skywalker way.
No. It's in the okay, I get this guy kind of way.
Yeah. And there's a really good kind of back and forth there between Rey and Kylo Ren,
At
where
one point,
where he's trying to get something using the Force from her,
Mm-hmm.
and she's resisting, and this is actually where she finds out that she's Force sensitive. I don't know if that's a spoiler.
It's
They
kind
had-
of spoiler
They
territory.
had
Yeah.
toys with her with the lightsaber, so I don't
Yeah.
know if it's really spoilers. But
Yeah, I guess. But for some people, that might be considered spoiler. Either
yeah,
way,
well,
we'll get more into why it's awesome.
we'll put a flashing light or something, whatever.
But yeah, it's basically he's constantly met with zero opposition from anybody.
Yeah, and then the first time.
He gets opposed. He kind of like loses his shit.
Yeah. And there,
Because he doesn't know what to do about it. He doesn't know how to handle
you really
that.
learn a lot about the characters, especially Kylo Ren, when they keep escaping.
Mm-hmm.
He just loses his shit on whatever's nearby. Like at one point, he just destroys this console with his lightsaber because they got away.
Yep.
That says way more than saying, "Oh, this guy's a badass. Oh, this guy's a badass. Oh, this guy's a badass."
Force choke. What? And that's the other thing. One of the things I really liked about him is there's a moment where instead of force choking somebody, he lifts them up and pulls them to his hand, and then he chokes them with his regular hand. And it's like, holy shit.
Like, he has potential to be a super badass, like Darth Vader,
Yeah.
but he's very much not there yet.
Yeah.
And hopefully throughout the arcs,
That's part of their development.
he'll get there, and then Rey will come back and slap him down.
Yeah. Which will be a lot nicer because, like with Darth Maul, they just killed him off.
Yeah, they
With
could have
Dooku,
had
they didn't explain shit. He was just supposed to be feared, even though he did nothing.
Yeah, that was one of my huge things. Like, who is this guy?
Yeah, and unless you watch like other shit or read other shit, you
Yeah.
don't know that he was originally a Jedi who turned to the Sith.
Yeah, you just know that he's some old guy who's a Sith now.
Yeah. And that the other Jedi fear and respect.
Yeah, but you don't know anything about him.
Yeah, and then even Darth Vader, because we rewatched the original trilogy before we went and saw the movie, and even Darth Vader, he's kind of just there.
Well,
He's a presence, but he's there.
the first, like, you can kind of tell the first movie he was just bad guy.
Yeah, because he's
Like,
an enforcer.
Yeah, he was not the master of the Sith. He wasn't like, oh, fucking awesome. He was just a bad guy and intimidating, and that was all he needed to be.
Yeah.
But as you wrote Empire Strikes Back, he
You see
was
him
elevated.
taking charge and making plans.
He became the big bad guy, and then in Jedi, he was.
You kind of saw him using his ploys a bit more in Jedi when he's talking to Luke and stuff.
Yeah.
He's doing what Darth Vader's known for, is getting under people's skin. At least in books and comics, that's like one of his biggest defenses. In those, most of what he does is intimidation.
Yeah.
And then you see that parallel kind of in this movie with Kylo Ren, but Kylo Ren's also given a character for you to connect with and grow with.
Yeah,
which elevates the
yeah.
villain a lot better.
And when should we go to spoilers?
How about now? Because we've already
Alright.
been kind of throwing them out there.
Well, a little tidbits.
Little
Tidbits here and there.
but
the worst kept secret in all of Star Wars is Kylo Ren is Han Solo and Leia's son.
yeah.
Not a secret. I think pretty much everybody guessed it.
Mm-hmm.
Even before the movies came out. They knew that there was going to be some familiar ties somewhere along the line.
And then they had moments in the trailers that kind of hinted it too.
Yeah.
So.
So that kind of gives him the potential of becoming even stronger than Darth Vader because he is from that line. So and there's a lot of Vader in him, and there's a lot and they actually explain how he becomes Sith and everything in a short little
in
way.
a very short way.
Because apparently Luke was trying to rebuild the Jedi Order.
Yep.
But then Kylo Ren killed everybody.
Yeah.
He was
apparently,
like, "Fuck this shit! I hate you all." Bam.
Yeah, he was kind of trying to build the Order, and they made it sound like they knew Kylo Ren had issues and was powerful in the Force, so they sent him to Luke as his first student, kind of.
Well, it wasn't his first student
To an extent.
like the
That's
first
what it felt
class
like,
kind of
yeah.
deal. Because they make it seem like he was already in the middle of trying to rebuild this with students and whatnot.
Yeah, but at the same time, you kind of can tell that they kind of give the nuance and layers that he kind of became Luke's prize student because it was his nephew, so he probably focused on him more.
And it's a lot like, it's kind of like that poetry theme that Lucas loved so much and made the prequels terrible. It's kind of like the Obi-Wan and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan tried to train him but failed.
Mm-hmm.
Now Luke tried to train him and failed.
Yep.
And so they both kind of went, "Boo," and into exile.
Mm-hmm.
So. And I still think Rey is going to end up being someone's daughter.
I keep hoping,
Probably
assuming
it's
that's going to be
Luke's.
Yeah. Because that would explain why he put her away somewhere where he thought she'd be safe.
Yeah. I don't want him to do that.
Yeah.
It'd be more interesting if they didn't. Because it's just too much of the same.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
Luke is Rey is the son of Luke.
Also, if you think
Luke
about
was
it,
the son of Vader.
Luke was always really in tune with like Force premonitions, so maybe he knew that would harden her, the way that he wanted to. So then that way she would eventually find him.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. You never know what they're gonna do with this because the Force.
It's also not written yet. So.
Exactly, and it's like it's the Force, and the Force. That's the reason why everything being convenient still kind of works because the Force is supposed to be guiding everything, to an extent.
Yep.
So.
And there's another Star Destroyer or another Death Star, except it's a Star Killer base.
Yep.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like a planet now instead of a.
And the initial reveal was pretty jaw-dropping. I gotta say that.
But
it made it much more threatening.
At the same time, the initial reveal was just kind of like, hey, look at that. Because they show the base as the ship's going towards
But I mean, like the initial reveal of it firing up and what it does.
It destroys maybe Coruscant.
It destroys like 6 planets in one go.
Yeah, it's like 5. I think it's a pretty much a whole system.
Yeah.
Which is cool, and it destroys the sun and then shoots, and that's cool. I was a little. There was a hint of the first Star Trek movie in that sequence.
Okay.
Where everybody's conveniently placed where they can see this happening on the planet they're on.
Yeah.
Was that planet in the same system? It had to have been in the same system.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's no way that you're going to see that. And even if you do, it would have happened years ago because science.
Yeah.
And I felt that them looking up at these planets being destroyed almost hurt my science brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't do that.
They're like, we don't care. This is dramatic effect.
Yeah,
and you feel it when you're watching it.
But you don't need that. You don't need Han Solo looking up and seeing these planets to be just being destroyed to feel it.
Exactly. Like, just the gravity of them going on the one planet with the city, and you see just this big red beam just hit
just
everything.
destroy everything.
And then it pans out to the entire world exploding. That's enough.
Yeah, and the 5 planets.
Yep.
And I mean, yeah, the beam getting there is a bit of... That would have taken about 1,000 years, but whatever.
Mm. Well, they do it in a weird, like, slow motion way, too, where it's kind of, like, slowly creeping forward.
Yeah,
expanding.
Probably to kind of show the distance that it's traveling. Because it's clearly not in the same star system, because that one planet survives, at the very least. And, yeah, the Republic is dead now. Whatever that was, you don't know.
Which that one planet surviving does kind of make sense, because they did get a call from an agent that what they're looking for is on that planet. And they're not going to destroy the information.
I have no problem with that planet surviving. Yeah. It was a nowhere planet. Yeah. Like, to begin with. So, whatever. But why is there a nowhere planet right next to the 5 planets that are the government? Mm-hmm. That seems a little shady. And why are there 6 habitable planets in the same solar system? Yeah.
Well, it is Star Wars. It tends to happen a lot.
Yeah, they don't do science very well. And that's fine. But it just kind of bothered me a little bit. It took me out of the movie a little bit. That was probably my least favorite sequence. Oh. And then they fought, and it was good again. And then there was a big fight, and everything was cool again.
Another spoiler territory. Super spoiler thing. We're in the spoiler section.
Well, yeah.
Han Solo.
Yep, and he bites it.
Yep. For me, the gravity of it, that moment, I still felt it, but at the same time, I was like, okay. Because they foreshadow it like crazy throughout the entire movie. There's little foreshadows here and there, and then you get to the point, and when the point finally happens, you're like, it's going to happen. Then it happens, you're like, knew it. Sucks. And it sucks more because I just don't care.
Well, it didn't bother me that I knew it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. It was still a very well done scene.
I'm not saying it wasn't well done or anything. It's just it was one of those moments where I wanted to care about it more, but I didn't.
He's going to come back in the next movie. Who cares? He's not the only person to fall down a tube and come back. Big ass tube. Where are they getting all these fucking tubes?
I know, right? Because that would have been going to like the Earth's core or something.
Well, that was on the Star Killer base, huh? Yep. Maybe it went. Maybe that's just where all of the plumbing goes to. There's a big ass tube.
It was also
sanitation. It was like the big hexagon thing.
Yeah, that they were trying to take out for the shields or whatever.
Yeah, for something. I don't remember. I think it has something to do with the shields.
Yeah, because they had to take down the shields so that the guys could get in there to attack the hexagon.
Return of the Jedi plot.
Yeah.
Take out the shields to blow up the thing. Or wait, no, that wasn't the shields. Actually, that was the beam itself.
Okay, yeah, that was the beam that held it together.
That was the hexagon that
held the power of the sun in it and shit.
It was like the beam.
And they went in it to try and help because the firepower from the starships wasn't enough.
And that was cool.
And it was cool.
I don't think they should have blown it up. Yeah. I think that was a mistake on the writer's part. Because that's too much, like the rest of them. And now what? Yeah. As far as we know, the First Order is the Star Killer base and some Star Destroyers. Yeah.
We don't know anything else about them.
Now there's a few Star Destroyers. Yeah. And the Resistance is literally down to like 7 X-Wings.
Pretty much.
Because they say that's their whole fleet, and at some point they lose half the fleet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's a tiny fucking fleet. Mm-hmm. Because they just launched X-Wings.
An all-out attack.
There were no Y-Wings, there were no A-Wings, there were no B-Wings.
No, there were Y-Wings.
Well, I suppose there were a couple.
And there were some B-Wings. I saw some B-Wings.
I didn't see any B-Wings.
There was.
I didn't see them.
There was a scene where it shows their entire fleet flying out from the one thing, and there's like a few B-Wings coming, and then there's a pattern of Y-Wings, and there was some X-Wings.
But either way, there's nothing bigger than a Y-wing.
But also, us not seeing things accounts for where we were sitting, and the fact that certain scenes, depending on how they were shot or angled, we couldn't
But
see.
either way, there were no big ships. Not a one. They didn't have any. The Millennium Falcon was the biggest ship they had.
Was one of the biggest. They had a...
Not in the fight, they didn't.
They had something that was similar to a Rebel cruiser,
Not in the
but
fight.
it wasn't the same. It was a lot
wasn't
smaller.
in the fight.
They
So it
showed
doesn't count.
it show up on like the
It wasn't in the
banks.
fight.
Yeah.
Like, it may have been on the planet, and maybe it's their transport to get Leia from planet A to planet B.
But it just shows
but,
a bunch of Y-wing
yeah.
showing up. And
So now
X-wings.
they're down to 7 X-Wings, 14 people. C-3PO's still alive, unfortunately. And yeah, Poe. They had another Porkins, which I thought was awesome.
Mhm.
They didn't call him Porkins, but he's a big fat X-Wing pilot. And that's the kind of touches I like to come back. Like, just the
Little tiny
fat
random
X-Wing pilot.
things.
For no reason. Because fat.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah, let's go all the way back then to the interrogation that we skipped because pseudo spoiler.
Yeah.
She starts fighting back with the Force.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Kylo Ren's biggest like intimidation tactic is that he uses like a version of the Jedi mind trick to get information out of people's
Yeah, he'll
skulls.
like pull it out of their brains.
And he's using that on her, and she starts resisting. And as she's resisting, she starts feeling the Force. And he says, "I feel it too," or something to that effect. Don't be afraid. So she starts using it, and with her character,
She actually flips the script.
she's
and
like,
can pull shit
yeah.
out of his brain.
she's an engineer who's very good at reverse engineering shit. So once she does that, it's like she learns what he's doing, and she does it back on him, and just freaks him the fuck out.
Yeah, she actually says, "You're afraid. You're afraid you'll never live up to Darth Vader.
Yep.
You'll never overcome Darth Vader," and that pretty much sums up his character.
Mhm.
Fear and anger
Yep.
are his big things.
And then in the big fight, she does something similar as well, where she awakens.
Yeah, well, yeah, hence the title.
Yeah.
Still better than the Clone Wars.
Yeah, they have an awesome fight, and then there's like a verge moment where she's using the Force, I assume, to keep from falling, because she's like practically like falling anyway. She's at like a weird angle on a cliff, and she's blocking his saber.
Oh yeah.
And he's like trying to turn her to the dark side, and then she just like stops for a second and starts meditating. And it's already shown that like she's been pulling memories and like random other like Force traces out of the lightsaber, and she can pull it out of him. And she just flips the script on him, and it's like as if it just clicks in her head that wait, this guy's just a big pussy. If I get on the offensive and put him at the disadvantage,
Yeah,
he's gonna fall apart. So that's exactly what she does, and she goes full force at him, and it's freaking awesome.
And he should just never take off the helmet. He's so much better with that helmet on. He really is. Like, every time he takes off the helmet, he does something stupid. Just leave it on. It's a smart man. It's his thinking cap.
Yep.
He needs to keep his thinking
It's
cap.
his I'm separate from things now.
Yeah.
And if he would have kept the helmet on, he wouldn't have got the big gash on his face at the end.
But now he needs a helmet, because now he's ugly. They didn't cut his big Jew nose off.
Yeah.
But, wow, I can't say that.
Yeah. He takes a lot of damage. There was one spoiler thing where people thought that it happened, but it's unclear whether it happened, because I didn't see it. We didn't see it happen. We saw him get disarmed, where they said that he got his hand cut off like everybody else. But that's
I didn't see
that's the
that,
only
but-
damage that I did not see him take. He took like a stab wound,
Yeah, he took a blow to both arms,
a slash to one arm, a slash to another arm,
Yeah.
and then he I think at
One
one point,
across the face.
yep, and I think one thing on the leg, maybe, and then he took a laser shot to the gut
Yep.
from Chewie, I think,
Yep, that was the first damage he took.
but it doesn't show him being like disarmed.
Yeah, it's not.
It shows him being like disarmed by a parry.
Yeah.
Like you see her kind of parry his saber, and then it just fly out of his hands. It doesn't look like he actually got his hand cut off.
Yeah, who knows?
And they never show it either, so.
Yeah, it's not like in every other Star Wars movie where it's close up of the hand.
Yeah.
Gone.
It's just him laying there, and then afterward, just like propping himself up, kind of. And then stuff happens, and they get split up, and then she runs away.
Yep. And then they conveniently know exactly where she is.
Mhm.
Chewie does, I
Chewie.
assume. Yeah.
He smelled
And
her.
he smells her through the Millennium Falcon
He Wolverine that shit.
and picked her up. And apparently someone knew where Kylo Ren is, or at least they hint at it.
Yeah, because Snoke tells
Go get
General,
Kylo Ren and fucking get out of there.
General what's his nuts?
Stoke. No,
Hux.
Stoke was a
General
Hux.
Hux. That's what
That's
I
a
have
dumb
the thing up.
name.
Yep. General Hux. That's what I couldn't remember his name because it was stupid.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, spoilers.
What do you think's gonna? How do you think they're gonna take it from here?
Well, obviously you're gonna have the two like arcing training sequences thing going on. I'm not sure if they're gonna do it in a sequence or whatever, but they're gonna have some kind of like backstory to how they're being trained, because Snoke wanted Ren to finish his training, and then Rey is with Skywalker.
I don't think if they do have Kylo Ren do more training, I don't think they should show it.
No.
They have to show Ren getting training, although it doesn't have to be a lot. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't have to be a lot, because if you really think about it, Luke Skywalker got like a week and a half of training.
Yeah.
He didn't get any training, really.
At least in movie time, anyway. Yeah.
Well, no, it could not have been that long, because he goes off to Endor, gets a little bit of training, then he gets the premonition at Cloud City, and leaves. That's all the training he ever gets.
The formal training, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, like formal Jedi training.
Yeah.
And that's all he ever gets, because he comes back and Yoda just croaks.
Yeah.
I guess aging 100 years in the span of a movie is really hard.
But it also helps, like, with Rey. She could probably be trained a lot quicker because of her intuition that she seems to have. And she already seemed to have some martial prowess already, too.
Yeah, she could hold her own in a fight. But...
So they'll probably give, like, a slight backstory to who she is more. Because right now she's just a one-name character.
Yeah. I think...
You'll find out who she is.
I think a lot of the second movie is going to not have them in it. There's going to be a little bit here and there of training, but it's going to be a lot of the other people.
That could be, yeah.
And a lot of the First Order doing shit. Because they have to explain, like, cause now there's a huge power gap.
Yeah.
That the Republic is gone. So I assume the First Order and the Resistance are going to be fighting to fill that power gap.
Yeah.
Even though the New Order is way better set up to fight it. To fill it.
Order, yeah.
Than the Resistance. Because the Resistance has 7 X-Wings. and the First Order has at least 2
And they
Star
apparently
Destroyers.
attacked the planet that had a Republic on it.
Yeah, the Galactic Republic, because they do kind of assume that it's the Republic.
This is the way they make
As in like the old Republic, like as soon as the Emperor died. Because in A New Hope they dissolved the Senate, so it's not that long between them having a Senate and not having a Senate that they would have forgotten about a Senate.
Yeah.
So they probably just brought it back, and then they just blew it up again. So maybe they should just make up their mind whether they want to have it or not. Stop blowing up fucking planets.
I know, right?
There aren't that many of them.
I'm hoping to see some bounty hunter action.
Yeah, there were no cool bounty hunters in this one.
They kind of hinted to the guys that Finn goes talk to that they might be something similar to a bounty hunter. But they don't really give you anything because they're just guys that he tries to hitchhike with.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
In the pirate place.
That they're going to the Outer Rim.
Yep.
Okay. One was fat, one was not.
Yeah.
Neither seemed cool. Although the redheaded guy seemed kind of cool because he had a red helmet.
Yeah, he had a really cool helmet.
Face. Or that could have been his face. Maybe he was a robot. I don't know.
Yeah. That'd be a badass robot.
No idea. I'm afraid they're gonna do like just a remake of the second one.
Yeah.
Because that won't work. I don't think it'll work. The circumstances aren't the same.
No, they aren't. I'm feeling more like a vibe that you would get from one of the books or like one of the video games. How a lot of them start out would be very useful for the second movie. Because it feels like they're gonna go with the whole, like I said, the training vibe, and then like with the First Order and the Resistance, like you said, there's a power gap now between the two.
Yeah, with the Senate gone, there's no formal
And
galactic government.
They kind of need to figure out what's going on with that. And
Yeah,
then you got Rey also left Finn in bad shape. And so she'd see him again, kind of a thing.
Yeah, everybody's kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Poe and Finn are off with the Resistance. And she's
Finn incapacitated.
She's in Ireland training to be a Jedi. And it's all very distant what's going on.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they explain what the fuck is going on in the wider galaxy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a lot.
Because I feel like they're going to have a heavy focus on Snoke.
Yeah.
Because they set him up, and now it's like,
they set
bring
him up to be a big
me.
bad guy.
Yeah, they're like, bring him to
I
me.
hope he's a tiny bad guy, because he's got a big fucking hologram.
Yeah, this huge, intimidating hologram thing.
And I hope he's a real tiny guy.
Yeah.
I think he looks stupid with his fucked up face. Yeah. I think he looks dumb, and it's unnecessary that he's a CG character.
I'm expecting him to be a slightly taller version of Yoda and just
that would be better. If he was one of the Yodas, that'd be cool. Although he didn't look to have any ears.
Well, that's because they were burned off.
They could have been. Could have been.
I don't know. That was weird because they made him look like all like...
It was super
he was like
fucked
partially
up.
undead or something.
Yeah.
So, people's ideas of it maybe being Plagueis could be. It could be Plagueis in a
it could be
resurrected body or something. And maybe he's training Ren so that he can take over his body. So he can be younger.
So we're having Naruto, the Star Wars movie?
Yep. He's secretly Orochimaru.
Oh, joy.
Just less creepy.
That means in 64 movies something will happen. Wonderful.
No, this is just one of the arcs to get you into it.
And then it's going to be 6 movies of filler?
Yep.
Oh.
That's what the anthology movies are.
Fuck.
They're the filler.
Well, then I'm not seeing them. I'll do exactly what I did with Naruto, not watch any of the filler.
Rogue One
or half the...
But yeah, that's what's coming up next. We have Rogue One.
Yep.
And then in about 18 months, we have the sequel.
Yep. Episode 8. Something dark side.
I think they have the name for it, but I never looked it up.
I hope it's something dark side.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
And then good news coming out of all this. They're finally going forward with the Spaceballs 2.
Nice. Gotta do it quick before he dies.
Alright. So yeah. And you guys already know we like the movie.
Yep, you should go see it if you haven't already.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be seeing it again, hopefully Tuesday. On my birthday.
I don't know when I'm gonna see it again.
I figured my birthday's a good day to go see it. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I can see it for $5.
Maybe Thursday. I only have a half day Thursday. Maybe someday in the week. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say about Star Wars: The First Awakens?
No. Anything else is just like technical stuff about how well acted and directed it was. And how I really liked how they had it so that it had its basic 3 acts, but then each act also had like mini subplots going on. Like, saying we're in spoiler territory now, like, once you get off Jakku, they get interrupted in the Millennium Falcon by Han Solo on, like, a barge. And then they have a little adventure there.
Yep, and then they have, like, tiny beholder Cthulhu's.
Things, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they leave that, they end up on the pirate place. And there's little adventures on the pirate place, and then an attack on the pirate place. And then stuff goes off, and then there's more little mini adventures, and
it was very well written. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of funny moments in it.
Yeah.
I think it's the only Star Wars I actually laughed at. Even as a kid, I didn't find the first 3 funny. Like, I found the characters endearing, but none of them were funny.
Mm-hmm.
And laughed the prequels
at where you
awful.
Should be laughing at them.
Yeah, not laughing like.
Because like I can rewatch,
so fucking stupid.
like even I can even just like even I can rewatch the originals
and laugh at
stupid stuff.
Yes, the stupid stuff.
But yeah.
And then the prequels were trying to be funny and just falling flat every single time. But this, they actually had endearing characters who actually had some funny moments
and some witty banter. And,
yeah.
And like I love how quickly Han warms up to Rey as soon as he sees how badass of an engineer she is. And then there's a fun little moment where she's like, well, you need a co-pilot. And he's like, I already have one. And Chewbacca's sitting there laid down because he can't move.
he got shot and he's all laid up.
And she just kind of looks at him.
And I liked that they gave you enough to care about the characters, but not so much that you feel you know everything about them.
Yep.
Finn is kind of going to be a problem because you know everything about him.
Yeah.
He was a stormtrooper, now he's not. That is his life story. Like, he hates the First Order, but moreover, he fears the First Order. That's his whole thing because he's been a stormtrooper since he was like a year old.
And they've already done a complete turnaround arc for him, too.
Yeah. So he's going to be
movie.
a little hard. He might end up being like the Chewie of the new movies, where he doesn't really have much of an arc in the other ones.
Yeah. That could be.
But the other ones, Poe, you know next to nothing about, other than he's an awesome pilot.
He's a really good pilot.
And he seems
pretty,
like a fun guy.
And he's pretty admirable for the most part.
Yeah.
He knows what to do and he does
He's
it.
going to be the bad guy in the third one. He's going to turn to the dark side and blow up the other 6 X-Wings. Take his and fly away.
And then Rey, everything you learn about her is through some very nice, simple, nuanced discovery.
And there's still a lot to discover about her.
Yep.
Which is
They
nice.
leave you hints and leave it so that everything else is still open.
So there's a lot of good stuff that.
And Ren, they kind of gave you everything already in the first blow.
Well, no, but they set him up to have an arc.
Yep.
Like, he starts here.
Yeah.
But you can tell that that's not where he's going to end up.
By the third movie, hopefully they'll keep him for all 3.
Yeah, hopefully he's like a super badass by the third one. And it takes all the good guy characters to take him down or to flip him into the light side. Because they do a very good job of saying Kylo Ren is not a totally terrible human being.
Yep. And like that's part of the big, like going all the way back to the death of Han Solo. That's the whole reason he kills Han Solo.
Yeah, to try and extinguish the light.
Yeah, to try and force himself to the dark side.
And I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Because his mommy's still alive. Maybe he's a mommy's boy. Maybe he never liked his dad anyway.
And his mommy is still force sensitive.
Yep. She knew right away. And that's why I think he's like super dead rather than just, you know. Can't think of a character that you think is dead and comes back at the moment.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, but he doesn't come back in the movies.
No, he doesn't come back in the movies.
And the way he comes back, he might as well not have come back.
Yeah, they give him spider legs.
Yeah, it's dumb. But yeah. So it's pretty sure he's super dead.
Yeah, and lightsaber battle is nice and brutal.
Yeah, that was not overly choreographed.
They could have panned out a little more though. I'm sure it's fine from a further back seat though.
Well,
because we were sitting really close.
We'll find out when we see it again, I guess.
Yeah.
The thing, like, I liked them because I liked the fact that they had Finn, couldn't remember his name already, and just a normal guy Finn, and Kylo Ren fighting a lightsaber battle, and Finn rightfully got his ass kicked.
Yep.
You expect him to because he's not a Jedi.
Well, he comes on strong initially because it throws Ren off, and we know Ren is kind of a big pussy in the beginning. Yeah. He's naturally just kind of a pussy. So when he picks up the lightsaber, he's like, really? Goes in confidently, and then Finn actually shows some fight in him, and he's like, holy shit. Then realizes, oh, wait, this guy's not force sensitive, just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah. It's like, oh, wait. I don't see why I didn't just pull the lightsaber out of his hand.
I know, right?
Like, you're not a Jedi. Blomp. That's what I thought. Stab him with his own lightsaber.
And then Rey comes to when Finn gets seriously injured.
Yep.
And Rey's like, okay, good. And he starts trying to grab the lightsaber.
And there's a force battle, and then
because he's like trying to get it and it's not coming. He's like, what the fuck?
And then it goes over to her.
Yep. It'd be awesome lead-in for that. Also, I like how when Finn first pulls up the lightsaber, I think it's when Finn does that. Ren says that belongs to him.
Yep.
That's mine.
I like that the lightsabers actually cast light now.
Yep.
Which is just a nice technical thing. Because in the originals, I can deal with them not really casting light. They probably didn't have the technique to do that. I don't think they did in the prequels either.
Yeah.
And that's just inexcusable. It's a lightsaber, but it does not actually glow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Then we also had the part that you really like when you first meet Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Where he freezes
The blaster bolt.
Yep. It's a kind of a throwback homage to the way people thought lightsabers originally worked before they made up their sci-fi voodoo. Was that the Force holds the beam.
Yeah.
So the reason that Jedi use it is because they can control it even if it went out of control. And so they kind of hinted to that when he pauses the...
Also, it's just the first time it's ever done in the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, and it's just really fucking
and
cool.
it is just an awesome sequence.
Yep.
Where it shows you that he is powerful.
Yep.
Even if he doesn't really harness all of that power, or he's not in control of all of that power, because he's not in control of himself at this point in the story. Although he appears it with that mask. The first act, he appears very in control. And then as the movie goes, you realize that he's not really in control.
Yeah. He's just a big spoiled brat.
Yeah. He has delusions of grandeur.
He does.
For sure. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good movie.
And
Hopefully they're all good.
And I know a lot of people are like, put them in a one movie, and then we'd have a great movie.
No.
Sort of. Not really. It'd just be a hodgepodge of out of context bullshit, but it'd still be better.
Well, I took a dump that was better than the third one.
Yeah.
It was darker, though. It was very dark.
I like the introduction to a lot of characters in the prequels, and then they become nothing.
Well, all the characters are nothing.
Yeah.
They're vapid.
Well, I mean, like when I was a kid, that's how I
Goofy.
ended up with this shirt, because it was before I even saw the movie.
Well, yeah, like,
Which
as
is why
a kid, you see the
which
movie.
is why I didn't buy any merchandise for this movie, because I learned my lesson.
I didn't buy
to
any,
wait.
I didn't buy any merchandise because plastic crap doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, sure.
But that's just me. Buy all the plastic crap you want. Buy all the Captain Phasma dolls you can get. Because hopefully... that's kind of one of my hopes. Hopefully she comes back and is super badass in the rest of the movies. Because it seems like a wasted character. A wasted
To have
bad
this
guy.
badass stormtrooper captain who then essentially doesn't do anything.
Does absolutely nothing. Except yells and, well, berates. And gets berated.
Yep.
And you don't see Luke Skywalker until the last scene of the movie.
Yep.
Okay, so.
And it's interesting. There's a lot of people who complain that there was no words spoken, and it's like, but that made it more powerful.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. That's the good part.
Like, it's called acting. You show the audience. You don't tell the audience. Like, oh, Luke, I found you. Well, clearly, I can see that you fucking found him. Thank you for treating me like a fucktard.
They took their hint from Mad Max.
Yeah, show, don't tell.
Yeah. They did that a lot in this movie, actually.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I like. I like to be shown what's going on, not told.
And then in the moments where they could have told us, they forgot to.
Yeah, like what the fuck is going on
with the government and shit.
Yeah, why is there a Senate? What happened? Why is Leia not in charge of the Senate? Why is she no longer a princess? Why does she not want to be referred to as a princess anymore? Why is she General Organa? Why is she not General Skywalker? Like, what the fuck is going... Or General Solo.
Yeah.
Because they got... Well, they hint that they got married. I would assume they got married. And then, so she would... unless they don't do that. I don't know. They don't explain that either.
I don't know, because in the comics, Han Solo has had a wife. I'm not going to spoil what actually happened in the comic, but...
I don't know.
He gets introduced to somebody who's supposedly his wife. and Leia's all pissy about it because this comic takes place between, I think, the first two movies. So yeah.
So, what is Rogue One going to be?
I think it's
Between
supposed
6
to
and 7?
No, Rogue One's supposed to be a throwback to the story of what happened before A New Hope.
Oh, so it's between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much later though. It's supposed to be like getting the plans to the Death Star. That whole and how all that ended up and how Leia ended up in capture and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's what I think that is, because that's what they've been making it sound like.
That is not gonna be fun. I have no interest in that storyline.
They've got a massive cast in it for one. So that could be good or bad. And they said they're focusing more on the war aspect. So it's supposed to be more of a just straight up war movie.
Okay.
In space.
It could be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't care about that story
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah. That was the original idea for it, was that that it involved maybe bounty hunters too, because the original theory used to be that it was bounty hunters who got the plans to the rebels or whatever, or something to that effect. Like there was some kind of double agent thing going on. So who knows? We'll see what happens with that.
Go see Star Wars: The Force
Awakens.
again.
And again. And again.
No, go see Star Wars: A Newer Hope.
Newer Hope?
Because people were saying it's like that.
Yeah, I know.
Go see Star Wars: A Newer Hope Strikes Back. Because that's more accurate. It was kind of like a mix of the two.
Yeah. A Newer Hope Strikes Back. Awakened. Within.
And there's a bad guy and a good guy, and they fight. Actually, there isn't a good guy that fights.
No.
There's a good guy that gets his ass kicked. There's a good girl that fights.
Yep.
And I like that it's a girl that's the main protagonist. That's a nice change. That's all I got.
Yep, you'll see it. We'll be seeing it again at some point.
Some point, maybe. I'm kind of cheap.
So yeah, if you like this really rambly review, remember to like and subscribe and stuff, and follow us. Information below.
Did we miss anything? What did you like? What did you hate?
Mm-hmm.
Who did you like? Who did you hate? Let us know. Yeah, fuck that shirt. Fuck everyone on that shirt and in that shirt.
Even the back of the shirt?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he turns into a douche.
True.